Welcome to Pashua's Moment with Pastor Charles Kiyaga.
Yes, praise the Lord, brethren. We are back again on our program, the Pashua's Moment, and as always, your servant, I'm Pastor Charles, and I'm here to bring you the voice that mobilizes us to seek God, to become partners with God, to become co-workers with God. So I'm here and standing on your great site, Zion Pashua's Prayer Mountain. Okay, a site that is dedicated to nothing else but the cause of separating ourselves, finding time alone with God, that God will work a work in us that will make us usable to His glory. So we are here in Genesis chapter 19, verses. Now we are going to verses 14. Yesterday we saw verses 13, that the outcry against these cities have become too high, too loud before God. They are destined for destruction. And I said yesterday, these cities may not be geographical locations. They could be those vices. People have been rounded up who are committing adultery, those committing murder, those committing witchcraft, those committing theft, those who are drinking, those who are committing all sorts of evils. These are cities. The outcry becomes voiced before God, and if a time comes and God has to judge. Verses 14. So Lot went out to speak to his in-law, who had married his daughters, his in-laws, who had married his daughters, and said, "Get up, get out of this place, for the Lord will destroy this city." But to his sons-in-law, he seemed to be joking. You know, unlike Abraham, Lot was not an intercessor. But Abraham was. Because Abraham was a God seeker. Abraham was a pursuer. So Abraham went before God and interceded. But his intercession could not go very far. It could only save Lot and his own close people. Now, Lot the angels come to save Lot. And they tell Lot, you go and talk to those people who are connected to you so that they get out of this city. Lot goes, he talks to his sons-in-law who had married his daughters. Tells them that, God is going to judge this city. He seemed to be joking before them. If we do not go into intercession and we think that we can win these people over by our own effort without interceding for them, even when you are saying the right thing, they will see it like as though it is a joke. Okay? They could not make sense of it. But because they were not interceded for. Abraham had interceded for the city, but he could not make it because there were not enough righteous people to save the city. But now God, because of his relationship with Abraham, he accepted, he had mercy over his nephew, Lot, and his close relatives. Now the daughters were able to be saved because they had mercy. They had mercy. God had mercy over them. But now the sons-in-law, they thought the man was joking. Like the people who you might be telling the gospel and they think you're joking. The best you can do for them, take them into intercession. It is only intercession that will open the blindness on their eyes. Somehow it may not even be you to talk to them, but if you put them before God in intercession, God will bring other people to them who will talk to them and they will make sense to them. These sons of Lot could not make sense of what Lot was saying. It seems like it was a joke. So they could not yield the call. So if we cannot save our people, You can say, I preached to them, but they don't listen. They look down on me. So I've given them up. Let them be destroyed. Don't end there. Take them to God in prayer. That prayer will act beyond your abilities. You may not be able to speak to your relatives and make them see sense in what you're saying. But when you take them to God in prayer, God will bring the people who will speak to them and it will make sense. So he couldn't save those sons-in-law. He couldn't. He couldn't because they didn't see sense in what he was saying. The only way they could be saved if they were involved, if the intercession had won the grace of God and God had accepted to save. But because that couldn't work, the word could not make sense. So whatever you could not win through your own abilities, you can win them through prayer. Prayer works in mysterious ways. That's why the work of an intercessor is a very powerful work, because it works beyond your abilities. It works behind the curtains. It works through so many other people that you cannot yourself, you cannot yourself get on board, but prayer will. So if you cannot win your people through your own abilities to communicate to them, take them to God in prayer. And at the right time, prayer will cause salvation to come. God bless you, even as you think to enroll yourself in the ranks of an intercessor.
Eyo yebadde Pursuers Moment ng'ekutusiddwako essomero lya Pursuers Junior School erisangibwa mu Butambala ku kkubo lya Mpigi Gombe. Kati wulira enkizo eriwo singa otwala omwana wo ku Pursuers Junior School. Interviews za bwereere. Essomero liyimiridde ku musingi ogutya Katonda ate ng'omwana agonjulwa bakugu. Tutumbula ebitone eby'enjawulo mu mwana. Tulina amazzi amayonjo ku ssomero ate ng'omwana wasomera ne weyeebaka abanga mukungu. Endya y'abayizi nnungi byansusso anti emmere tugirimira nga ne faamu y'ente weeri ku ssomero. Tulina emmotoka ezitambuza abaana. Pursuers Junior School e Butambala tusomesa abaana okuva mu baby class okutuuka ku kibiina ekyomusanvu. Mudde boarding okumanya ebisingawo 0772 41 98 4 ne 0702 36 41 64. Pursuers Junior School Butambala, in pursuit of knowledge.